8,
You're watching The
7,
Experience, Comic Culture, and
6,
Sales.
5,
Streaming live daily to
4,
Facebook, YouTube,
3,
Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the Geek Chat. You are about to watch two old men debate about comic books. No, not really. We're just here to talk comics, so why don't we get to it? Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. You are watching the Geek Chat on The Experience. I am Rich.
I'm Des.
And tonight we have a full show, so if you don't want to watch the debate, come watch us. Why not?
Please watch us. And it's sad though, because that earlier comment you said about like old men debate, I kept thinking to myself, like, it's really sad that comic characters get to stay the same age, but we have to grow up. That's so unfair. So unfair.
Our bodies grow, but our minds don't.
Yeah. I mean, you're proof positive of that, my friend. So, but yes, we have a ton of great stuff for you. And okay.
Very true.
Thank you very much, Experience. So yeah, as always, hey Paul, we have a variant cover for you. Can you believe this? All the time, we have a fantastic variant cover for you. It is from Heir of Apocalypse
number 2.
Yes, and it is by, hold on, let me pull up my notes. It is a number 2. It is a 1 in 25 variant from Lee Garbett, and that is the variant. As always, you can put in the hashtag EXPTGC variant, all lowercase, all uppercase. It doesn't matter. It all works. We're very happy, but please remember that you can only put it, you can only enter it on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. So please make sure you watch on one of those platforms. That way you can enter in the contest. We love giving this stuff away. Please.
The Elon Musk platform works as of Monday.
Oh, it does.
Whoa.
That is fantastic. Yes.
Supposedly the Elon Musk platform works as of Monday. That's what they told me.
Awesome.
Well, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for that. So, so the next time we're doing a show, there you go. But please remember that you can only win. You're only eligible to win every 30 days. So if you already won in the last 30 days, please don't enter, because we will not have to. We won't be able to give it to you. But please put in that hashtag. Win this fantastic variant. We are going to be talking about it a little later. So please stay tuned for that. But first, as always, we have our news nuggets, and they are certainly nuggets today. It is a very Superman-heavy first 30 minutes, because unless you've been living under a rock, you have seen some of the photos that are popping out from the new movie. So we finally get to see like him standing up, and unfortunately, it looks like Warner Brothers is claiming copyright claiming a lot of stuff, so we just can't show you the raw pictures.
It's so stupid.
It's dumb.
So stupid.
Yeah, they should just let us do it.
Yeah.
Look, this is all free publicity for them.
Totally free publicity.
Yeah.
Like, just ridiculous.
Yeah. So they were able to show we got photos of Superman. We got photos of Lois Lane. They got photos of Ultraman. This is the one that we linked from one of our from one of the other websites that was able to do. And as you can see, it's Superman being arrested by Ultraman, who looks like Black Noir.
Yeah.
They wanted their 60 cents. Damn you. But yeah, so what are you thinking about this? Are you why do they have to obscure his face? Like, I don't.
Maybe it's going to be one of those mystery characters.
Well, I really hope that they're not trying to say that it is a clone of Superman, because that would be dumb. Because remember, the Superman from Earth 3, Ultraman, is technically Superman. So
right.
it wouldn't be far out of left field if the reason why they're doing that is because he's actually Superman. You know, he's actually Earth 3's Clark Kent. So, or Earth 3 Superman. So that could be a reason why they're doing, and they're keeping it secret for the plebs who don't read comics or don't know. That's so wrong. I shouldn't say that, but but maybe you never know.
I don't know. We have yet another Rick Flag.
Another Rick Flag.
Another Rick Flag.
And were we able to identify the woman next to him on the end? I don't know who
No.
that is, because I don't think that's Kara,
No.
or the Hawk woman. I don't know who that is. And then they also got pictures of Mr. Terrific, who looks very comic book accurate, and I think that he looks great. Those are closer pictures of Ultraman. What do you think of that? What do you think of that U on his chest? Like, I'm trying to think. It's like an upside. Like, are they trying to make it look like maybe? No, they would bring in Apocalypse. So I was thinking maybe he's a well,
Dark Side?
Yeah, Dark Side. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Wrong universe. Yeah,
I know. I don't know. It's just like I don't understand why he's wearing a mask.
I don't know. Can we talk about the super suit?
Yeah. Let's take a look at the suit.
I am not a fan of the built-in weird detailing along the shoulders, along the stomach area. I just think it's unnecessary.
Well,
It reminds me of the super suit, the muscle super suit that they use. Like, just, I'm not a fan. I like something clean. I am not a fan of all the lines that Jim Lee, when the new 52 came, I hated all those unnecessary lines in every single costume he redesigned. And I feel like this is pulling inspiration from that.
It is. It's definitely pulling inspiration from the Jim Lee New 52 costume. That's already been said that they're doing that. So for me, I am not so bothered by it. It looks like a suit that a person would wear, and it doesn't look like the one thing that I didn't like about the Jim Lee one was it looked like armor, and there's no reason for Superman to wear armor.
No.
This looks like detailing, but again, we're seeing this in full sunlight, full brightness, without color correction or anything. So I'm really surprised that it reads as light as it does around his chest, but around the side of his torso, it's dark. So I know they're trying to give contrasting colors to possibly make his stomach, possibly make his chest look bigger. But I mean, for me, I'm okay with it. And the shorts. You're looking at the shorts, right? Are you seeing the shorts? Like, what are our thoughts about the shorts? They look like trunks, you know.
They're trunks. In some of the photos that we're not allowed to show, it's weird because there's white around it. And I was like, hey Doug, welcome in.
Hi, Doug. Thank you.
It's just a little, I don't know.
Actually,
how I feel about this costume.
I kind of like the trunks that they're not so high up like they used to be, because it kind of takes away from the fact that they're basically underwear.
Yeah.
The thing that I really can't understand, and maybe I have to agree with the experience. Like, I've watched Project Runway, and I don't think that I'm like a style person as well.
You're not.
Shut up. But the belt with the belt hoops on the underwear. So he literally has to wear a belt to keep his underwear up?
I don't know.
Like, there's certain design elements that I'm looking at. Yeah, exactly. Like the trunks with belt loops. What are we holding up here? Like, are they not snug? I get it. I just think the belt buckles need to go away. Like, I think that's, for me, is just like it's really drawing a lot of focus to that area, because like I actually think the belt looks cool, because again they've added a little bit of that weird kind of like etching into the center, but I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot going on, and I really wish we could have showed you Mr. Fantastic. I don't think there's a picture of Fantastic.
Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific again. Mr. Terrific. Hi, Kenneth. Welcome in.
Hi, Kenneth.
Mr. Terrific. I thought he looked really, really good. Although the problem is, do they not have black people on the staff? Because his hair looks terrible. Seriously, that Motown Philly Afro thing, flat top he's got going on, so unnecessary. I was not feeling that at all. I was like, what's going on with that? Oh, there's Superman. Oh yeah, and then the back cape has the back of the cape has the emblem on it, the shield. Love it. I think it's really, really cool. but yeah. And I really like it. And I really hope that I really wish I could have showed you the picture of Clark Kent though, with the broccoli hair. And again, hopefully when we're able to talk about this and we're able to actually show you those pictures when they're actually released, you'll be able to see him in his Clark Kent persona, because they have really gone for the. I was talking to my friend Patrick about it, who's like a huge Superman fan, and he has drawn the Christopher Reeves version before. He's an artist for Topps, and does Topps cards and all this other stuff. He's a really great portrait artist, and he was looking at it, and I was looking at his critique, and he basically said it seems like they're going for the classic clumsy Clark Kent version, with the big hair, the oversized glasses. The suit that he was in was much bigger than his normal frame. If you noticed, like the neck was really wide around, the collar around his neck was really wide, so the suit was ill-fitting. So, and his hair is all pushed forward, and it looks like a patch of broccoli. And when you look at them side by side, I was telling Rich, I'm very happy. Also, Rich and Patrick, I'm very happy that he is, as fast as a speeding bullet, because it's going to take that long to like press his hair down and get it ready to go. Like, yeah. Yes. Oh, and Experience says hopefully by next week, DC will get back to me clearing image. They just don't have a press packet yet. Yes, because that would be fantastic to really sit down and critique this. But like always, we didn't want to be last, and we wanted to give you some images, that way you could say, and kind of get what you're thinking. So please let us know in the comments. Hi, Barlord. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts of these new photos are. But one thing we really wanted to do is compare the shields, because what's happening now, if you're looking at it, is they're going with a really minimalist version of the shield. So if you could bring that up, please, voice from the heavens, if you could bring up the picture of the shields, that way we can do a comparison. We greatly appreciate that. I'm thinking about going over to Cleveland this weekend and watching the filming. That would be awesome.
That is.
That would be really cool. But yeah. No, the other image where we have all the 4 different shields. If you could bring that one up, that'd be great. Hey, I love the way we're looking.
Nope.
There you go. There you go.
I'm sorry. I'm real bad tonight.
No problem. It's totally fine. So thank you everyone. To say Kyle, the producer, is taking over for JD tonight. JD is overlooking a lake, wishing his life was terrible. So, but yeah, here we go. These are the classic shields that we've had from the movies. So 1978, of course, the classic Christopher Reeves. 2006 with Brandon Roth, Return of Superman. 2013 was Superman.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, Henry Cavill. And then we have the new one, which is this one.
I think they get progressively worse.
So Barlord says people are really hating on these images, and they forget they're seeing raw footage and nothing that's gone through post. Exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. All these pictures, direct sunlight, no color correction, nothing to make it really sing, and really, because like right now I think the colors pop, but I'm not so sure about the piping and what we're saying, what we're saying. I'm not so much bad with it. Hello, Lorena, welcome in.
Hey, Lorena.
But again, everyone has to make their mark on the franchise. No matter who it is, they're always going to make their mark. I just really think that this S, as Rich was saying, gets progressively worse. I kind of have to agree with you. What are your thoughts, Rich?
I just said it. They get progressively worse. So I think it's interesting that in 78 we had the superhero blue. Like they were all the blue, the yellow, the red. They were the primary colors that we know from the comic books. And then in 2006, they decided they wanted to go a little darker, and they gave a little bit of not texture, but the shield comes out. It doesn't look so flat. And then for 2013, I think that we all know, we all have our opinions about this era of Superman, and it's so dark and so The S's are, you've got the top with the 2, and it couldn't be like what's come before. It had to be different because that was exactly what he wanted to do with his franchise. And now we have 2025, and the Shield, I know that they're trying, it's supposed to be reminiscent of the Kingdom Come Shield with the bar. But the next picture I want to show is of My Adventures with Superman. That is the Shield I'm loving. When we're going to be talking about the show, the latest episode, when Kara and Clark were standing next to each other and their shields were in the frame, that is exactly what I want. It's just enough to have the top and the bottom of the S, but give you something new to the franchise.
Yeah.
And that shield that is in My Adventures of Superman, I wish James Gunn would have went with. That's my own personal opinion.
I do think the one thing that they could have done with the 2025 or the newer shield, if they were going to have an homage to Kingdom Come, we could have had the serifs coming off the top and coming out the bottom, just to make the illusion of an S.
That's all I'm looking for.
This one is just too bland. And I know, Kyle, said the new one reminds me of the Superman family logo. I like the simple but modern design. I agree. I like the modern design, but I think it's still too simple. And I don't know why they chose to do that, or if it's going to change later, but they really needed to have that kind of that serif coming at the top and at the bottom. If they'd have just had that, I think it would have been perfect. But maybe they didn't do that because they thought it would be a little too much like a recoloring of the Kingdom Come logo. But I would say, be damned. The Kingdom Come logo, he was in mourning. It was red on black because of how crazy it was. Repurpose that and say this is him being, being a lighter day. But I think maybe the reason why they didn't do that as well is because people might have read and said that, that's alluding to the fact that maybe Kingdom Come is coming and there's going to be a fall or something. Who knows? Hi, Preston. Thank you for coming in. Preston, wanted to ask you, I did not receive your when you won last week. I didn't get your information, your form filled out. So when we do the information today, when we do the drawing today, and the website link is put up, if you could fill that out, I greatly appreciate it, because I would love to send you your variant from last week. So please do that when you get a chance. So yeah, a couple of comments. Barlord says, Gunn had emphasized this is Soup's earlier in his career. I have to wonder if they picked the shield so that it could evolve as it becomes the Soups we know. Yes, and I think you're on a really good. I think you're really on a good trajectory with that. And I think maybe that's why it doesn't have the sands. The way it has a place to evolve and become something new, because maybe, just maybe, it does become that S, and there is a fall, and then we start getting a variation of Kingdom Come. Who knows? We will see. But yeah, I'm here for it. So we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. So now we're going to talk about My Adventures of Superman, episode 6. If you were not caught up, please get caught up, because it's great. That is the Superman logo that Rich was talking about.
I like that.
But I do agree with it. And I love how it actually covers his whole chest. It's very proud. It's very pronounced. It's like, I'm Superman. Preston asks, did Gunn have anything to do with the animated My Adventures of Superman? It's good in my opinion. No, he did not. From what I understand, he did not. This is something separate that exists in its own little multiversal pocket. So it is not connected to that at all, which is funny, because I totally expected it to be to not exist. And the fact that it does is fantastic, because the first actual property from the new DC universe is the Creature Commandos,
which is
So,
coming later this year.
yes.
End of the year.
And supposedly the Creature Commandos are going to make an appearance in Superman. Yeah, supposedly. I don't know if that's true. But this episode, great. We get to see Kara and Clark
Having fun.
Yeah, get reacquainted. And I do too, Preston. They get reacquainted. And so it's interesting because it's not that it's breaking any new ground. So I kind of like, if you're paying attention and you've read comics or any kind of sci-fi media, you kind of knew what was coming with Kara and her quote unquote brainwashing, and then Kal-El being brought into the fold, and Kandor being the satellite and not a city in a glass bottle, having Brainiac be Kara's father. I can't wait for the next episode where Brainiac explains what happened, because this is not the normal Brainiac from the comics. This Brainiac is all about preserving and rebuilding the Kryptonian race, as Brainiac was a supercomputer that Jor-El and the other Kryptonians built. And I think it's interesting that in this version, the Kryptonians are almost like the I can never say the name, the Velamites from Invincible, where they were a conquering race, and then they fell on hard times when they exploded, and their whole way of life was destroyed. So it's pretty interesting. What was your thought of the episode, Rich?
So I absolutely loved seeing a Green Lantern, a Parademon, and a Hawk person.
That was a Parademon. I knew it. Yeah,
it
had to be. Yeah.
I loved it. At one point, Coog looks at me and he goes, "Why are they flying?" When they showed the Kryptonians, and the whole reason they fly on Earth is because of the yellow sun, and that they were flying on Krypton, and we were like, okay, that's a new twist. Because I think, didn't the John Byrne era have them flying? He had them all really scientific. Do you remember that?
Yes. In the John Byrne Krypton cartoon in the Krypton miniseries, they were technically advanced races, and he was the one that, if I remember correctly, put them into different
classifications.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there was like science classification, there was harvesting, and then there was military, and that's where Zod was part of the military. So yeah, they were they were highly advanced, but this one is the only one that's saying that they were a military type of dynasty. So yeah, that was new to me.
And you were absolutely right. Jimmy's money is going down because of the spaceship.
But Mr. Mullah and the Brain were back, and I'm like, yay, happy Pride, everybody. I said that to a friend of mine, and he was like, well, I don't know if they planned it that way. And I'm like, who cares? Happy Pride.
Who cares? So the experience is a bad nerd. No interest in underwears on the outside.
I mean, that's what you do, though. Like when you're a kid, I used to do it too. I had the underoos. I don't know why. I guess when I was a little kid, I had the Aquaman underoos, so it was orange, and the belt and the strap was green, and I always tried to wear it like over my pants, and my mom would be like, "No, go change your pants," and I'm like, "What?" So, I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Preston says underwear on the outside and miniskirt superheroes are fine, but this series doesn't need that. Agreed. I really liked Jimmy showing up, and because like first I was like, how the hell are they going to find them? Like, they're in the vast nebula, so I was wondering how they were going to get them back to Earth. But after Kara went on her weird ass vision quest and was like, I'm the villain, and then she kind of realized, and Flamebird came, Jimmy and them came up. Jimmy was like, oh, I thought that was great. Although she said Flamebird, and there was no Flamebird cry when they said it. My friend noticed that.
Yeah.
And of course, I think they did that because it would really undercut the tension that they brought in. But it would be funny if they did do that. So Experience says, compare this to the Harley animated series quality, better, worse, or the same. I'd say it's the same. completely honest with you, see, it's the same. But the one with the Harley, and I know we haven't talked about this much, but because we haven't really talked about Harley, but for me, I finished the first series, and then for some reason, I just really wasn't interested in going back to it. I don't know. I didn't, there was nothing in that show that really, aside from it being really, really like out of left field and crazy and weird and stuff like that, it never really like pulled at me to say, hey, come back and see what's going on. So I don't know. It never really spoke to me. Have you seen the Harley show cartoon?
We tried watching the first season, and I really had no interest in it.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine was watching, and he's like, I guess season 4, Harley wants to be good, so she is part Team Batman, and Poison Ivy is the leader of the Legion of Doom, but they're dating, so they have to find a way, because one's a good guy now and one's a bad guy, and their relationship's kind of weird. So
who's she dating?
Poison Ivy.
Oh, so Poison Ivy's leader of the Legion of Doom now.
Yes. And like none of the men respect her. I enjoyed the couple that I watched. Like they went on a villains weekend to visit. Oh my God, who was it? I think
Ra's
it was
al Ghul?
Clayface.
Oh,
No, I
Clayface.
think it was Clayface, who's doing a show in some vague. It was weird. The shark, King Shark, is in it.
Yes. Ron Funches does the voice of King Shark.
It's
yes.
just it's a weird show. It's
Yeah.
a weird show, but unfortunately, like there was nothing much for me to latch onto.
Yeah, I think it's just weird for the sake of being weird, and that's fine for some people. But for me, it was just like, So we'll see. If you all think that we should check it out, let us know. Maybe we will. We're always looking for stuff to watch. But this thus concludes our TV and movie portion of the Geek Chat. We will be right back after these quick commercial breaks. So Experience, roll that beautiful commercial footage, sir.
Whoa. Did you miss it? Yeah, they can go by pretty fast. Let's slow down the footage.
Welcome. It's time to skim some comics. Miles Morales Spider-Man, I will just tell you that Miles is very important in his role as a vampire. So
It's fine. If you like Hercules, read it. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. It's fine.
The art is still stunning. There's a panel, little spoiler, there's a panel in this where Chitauri first hits Lion-O, and he is the best "did she really just hit me" face I've ever seen put in a comic book.
Wow, live reviews of new comic books so you can be ready for New Comic Book Day. What is this? Oh, I see. It's Minute to Skim It. Part of the experience.
According to a statistic that I just made up, people spend 4 hours a day changing the television channel. People who watch The Experience don't do that. Save yourself a ton of time by tuning into The Experience and enjoying our new original programming 7 days a week. And then tell your friends. Think about the money they could save on batteries in the remote alone just by tuning into The Experience. Find out more by scanning the QR code below.
Well, welcome back. You're watching the Geek Chat on The Experience. I'm Rich.
I'm Dez.
And just so you know, you can watch The Experience on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok. If you're on Facebook, go to the Geek Chat, give us a like. We post regularly there. And head to, I can't remember the new one. Is it The Experience
Live?
Live?
TheExperienceLive.com.
Yeah,
TheEXPLive.com.
I need to write that on my notes. Yes, that is their new website. You can sign up on the mailing list, see what shows are on. There's something on all the time for you that has to do with comic books.
Yeah. Good evening,
Morning.
Meatwad. Welcome in.
All right, everyone. So let's tell them about the variant first. One
Yes.
more time.
Variant. So please, now's the time. Put in your the hashtag for this fantastic variant that we secured today. It is X-Men Heir to Apocalypse #2. It is a 1 in 25 Lee Garbett variant. So the fantastic hashtag is currently scrolling across the bottom of our beautiful faces and this beautiful cover right here.
Other way.
Well, is this way for me? So I don't know. This way for me.
It's that way for me. No,
Yeah.
it's that way for me.
Yeah, it's that way. Yeah, it's that way. So definitely put it in. Get this fantastic variant. Again, it is a X-Men Heir of Apocalypse
Oh my God.
125 Lee Garbett.
Hi,
variant.
Bri.
Hi, Bri. Thank you so much for tuning in. So first on deck for our new comics this week is Absolute Power Ground Zero.
So this is the number one that leads into next week's actual Absolute Power #1. This is basically them finishing setting everything up to watch it all fall down. And I luckily got a chance to read Absolute Power #1, and I'm very excited for Des to read it. I was very, 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 very excited for him to read this, because as someone who hasn't been reading a lot of DC, they kind of threw a lot at you, and this is where I need some editor boxes, because I have no clue who half these people are. So yeah, exactly. The first part, there's a lot of writers to this, people. So Nicole Maines and Mark Waid were the writers of the first part. Skylar Patridge did the art. Patricio Del Peach, something like that, did the coloring, and Steve Wands did the lettering. And I love how it says cover by Dan Mora. I'm like, okay, good. Let's stick that in too. The first part is Dreamer, who was in the CW's Superman. What was this? What was it? Was it Superman? Was she introduced in Superman? Supergirl. Thank you.
Supergirl. Yeah. No, it wasn't Superman.
Yeah, it was Supergirl. And now she's made her way, thanks to Nicole Maines, into the DC universe.
Yeah.
And they're hunting John's boyfriend, Jay Nakamura, who I guess is Kitty Pryde in the DC universe, because he can phase. And then someone who's not Deadshot figures out how to actually make a person that's phasing.
I thought that was Deadshot.
I don't think that's Deadshot.
I thought that was Deadshot.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I thought that was Deadshot.
I don't like his new costume.
Yeah.
And then you learn that they're friends, and they go into this weird thing. His mom's dead, blah, blah, blah. Didn't care. The second story is about a guy I have no clue who, and he was dead, and then they brought him back, and
Tommy Tomorrow or something.
He tries to escape, and guess what? That didn't work. And then you get the story of Brainiac, Lady Brainiac. And it's kind of cool that
Ladiac.
Amanda Waller raises her. And
in the simulation,
the team's done. So now the villains are all set up, and then next week you get to read Absolute Power. That is my short PowerPoint presentation of this issue.
What did you think of it, though?
You know what? It was necessary, because it does set everything up for the #1. And I liked it because it got me and you to read this. And going into the Absolute Power #1, we kind of needed some of this backstory. So in a case like this, with 3 different stories, bunch of different writers and artists, I actually really liked the Lady Brainiac art. I really enjoyed the art in that. This was a good start.
I have to agree. This got me pumped for the Ground Zero event.
Absolute Power.
Absolute Power. Thank you. I have always wanted Amanda Waller to be this type of threat. and the fact that we are finally getting her realized as this person, as this monumental threat, is fantastic. I really think that she's getting her roses or flowers this right now, and I really want to see it happen. So part of me is like kind of like I want to see her succeed, but at the same time, I want to watch her fall, and I believe this is why Amanda Waller is such a powerful character, is because even though she is a by all means necessary type of person, she's coming from a place of protection and almost this crazy, insane motherly figure.
Yes.
And I think that Mark Waid is able to really, really capture that well. And having her be this sort of anti Nick Fury is just fantastic. And how she is so calm and everything, and when the time traveler guy tried to escape, and then they had time travel temporal tunneling that basically put him in a cage. Like, that's perfect. Like, that's for me, that was like peak writing, because I thought, okay, that's great. And then having like being able to, hey, Canadian survivalist, having to be able to see her put it together, and fail-safe Batman coming in and doing his thing, and then like having all these weird temporal robot Batman going around, and then having Lady Brainiac doing all the cover stuff, and her like almost being like a mother to her, and Dreamer being the fly in the ointment. It's really weird though, because I know that there are some books that are already tied to this that have happened before, like Green Arrow and stuff like that. So part of me it's been a long time since I've read something and then thought, I want to go back and read what happened in that book to see how they got here. Very few comics do that nowadays, and it's a shame. And I think this is one of those ones that made me really want to go back. Like, I wanted to go back and find out who there was. Oh, no problem, Easy Rider. Just thanks for being here. But put in the hashtag, please. We'll make sure you got a chance to win the variant. So yeah, I'm excited to read it because it feels like something new. And yeah, I'm here for it.
I'm excited for you to read next week. Like, they've already given away. I hate how Marvel spoils things months in advance, but DC is already putting articles out there about who the traitor is in next week's number one.
Stop
it's not hard to think, but I have been reading Green Arrow and Titans. Those are my two mostly DC books, and Wonder Woman, but Amanda Waller has nothing to do really with Wonder Woman. It's the government with Wonder Woman. But she has really been messing with the Titans and with Green Arrow. And I think you should go back and kind of pick up some of those old Green Arrows. I think you would enjoy them. It's funny. I have not been excited for a DC book in a very, very long time, especially an event book. And if you've been, hey, we have, is it Louis? Louis.
Yeah.
Louis. Welcome in, Louis.
Yeah, and you're welcome, Easy Rider.
We have been kind of skipping. So if you've been watching us for a while, we covered every single freaking issue of Gang War, the Spider-Man event. And then when it came to Blood Hunt, Tez and I are like, we could pass. I don't even read it. Like, I kind of skim through the actual Blood Hunt issues.
I read them.
I'm just like, meh. But I am really excited for Absolute Power. And it's not a ton of tie-ins. I think there's like 5 books monthly that it ties into. And then it has, I want to say 2 maybe smaller mini-series that are coming out as well. But I'm actually really excited to read a DC event. So we will be talking about it. No. Firelord says, whether I end up liking this event or not, I love that DC is doing the work and committing to an event by building it up across books. Yes. And I agree. And it's sad Marvel doesn't build up in the books. Marvel just gives you miniseries.
Yep. And
unnecessary miniseries.
We're going to talk to you about one. And it's just We'll talk about it after
We'll
the
talk
break,
about
so,
it. Yeah. So
um,
I say if you like DC, if you're looking for something, I would say check this out. The Absolute Power Ground Zero sets everything up for you. You just read this. It basically fills in the bad guys, and oh my god, you are not ready for what you're going to read next week. I'm very excited. Some things make no sense. I can't wait to talk about it, but I can't say anything else because I want to ruin it for you.
Try it out, Lorena. I think you'd enjoy it. Okay, next up.
Oh,
I think we're gonna be divided upon this one.
I do too.
Yeah. So yeah.
Are you okay? Are you having a brain freeze?
No, you kind of huffed like and I'm kind of like, I want to see.
Okay, this is Zatanna. Bring Down the House, Book 1, written by Mariko Tamaki, drawn and colored by Javier Rodriguez, lettered by Hassan Atsmain El Hou. And the cover was Rodriguez, and then Art Germ did a variant, as well as Jorge Jimenez. And there was a 1 in 25 and then a 1 in 50 because, DC loves its numbers. What did you think of this? I'm throwing it to you first.
I'm always a fan of revisionist history. I think it's fun. So, and I love Zatanna as a character. I do wish that they upped her outfit a little bit, because this magician's assistant shtick that she had for a long time is so tired and it needs to go away.
Oh my god. Do you remember the costume with the snake headpiece?
See, I did, and for the longest time, like, the classic DC stylist in me is like, that was so like gaudy and crazy and made no sense whatsoever. And so when
but I lived for it back then.
I did. It was just so crazy. It's like, why is she running into battle with that on? It's like, come on. But now she's in like heels and fishnets. So I'm like, so I just really wish the costume she had in Justice League Dark, I think, was much better than this one. So they're trying to capture a classic Zatanna story, is what it seems like. It's or it's basically it's Zatanna and something is chasing after her, an evil presence or something, and it has to do with her father, because we all know that her father is dead, and this person is telling her that she is responsible for her father's death, and this thing is coming after her. And we keep getting flashbacks to her when she was a kid and how she was scared to use magic, and she did not use magic, and that magic was freaky or weird or something. So she's like, I do tricks, I don't do magic. So that's why she's pulling rabbits out of her hat and doing card tricks, stuff like that, not real magic. So that's the crux. It's almost like the thing with last week we were talking about Nightwing. Now Nightwing can't tumble off of roofs. How good is he? So this is, if you're doing the same thing to kind of Zatanna, if her main gimmick is magic and she refuses to do magic, why? What's the catalyst for that? So it's a very like common story that people use, and that builds up that I don't want to say artificially, but it builds up why. Why doesn't she want to do this? What's going on? What is chasing her? I do believe that the woman that has been watching her is the Phantom Stranger in a new form. I think that's like a female version of the Phantom Stranger, because of how she said, something about being stranger than usual or blah, blah, blah. I think that's who that is, but it ends on like, the cliffhanger, your father's dead and you killed him or something to that effect. So for me, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the artwork. I'm a huge fan of magical type stories. That's why I'm a huge Doctor Strange fan. And I love Brother Voodoo. I love Zatanna. I love Dr. Fate. I love all of those magic. And I think that DC's magic pantheon is one of the strongest. And I personally think it's better than Marvel's, but it's so underutilized most of the time that it's really hard to really feel how powerful it is. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of that. I don't know how far we're gonna go into the weeds with it, but yeah, I personally enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed the artwork. It's sort of this kind of like classic Vegas. There's a style that they're emulating, like it's very clean lines, very clean shadows. It's a very stylized art, almost like a classic. I don't want to say pinup, but like a classic, almost 70s style that they're going with it. It's not bad. It's not bad. So, what was your thought? Hold on, let's see. Kenneth says, "Can you?" Oh, the claim. Yes, we'll definitely be putting the claim up once the drawing has been done. We'll be putting it up there. Preston says, "So this is Zatanna year one." You know what? It probably is. It could be its year one. I don't know why it's a black label. Nothing in it caused it to be a black label. Like there was.
You know
no
why
gore,
they wanted
no
$6 for it? That's
yeah,
why.
probably. Yeah, and I think that's the most egregious thing about this is the price. But yeah,
I agree with Easy Rider.
Easy
I
Rider
want
is
Justice
right.
League Dark to come
Yeah,
back.
I want Justice League Dark to come back too. I think out of all the Justice Leagues that popped out of, I think it was Metal or something, that was the best. Wonder Woman's lead one, fantastic. What was your thoughts, sir? You hated it? I bet you did.
I did.
Oh, you're killing me, sir. You're killing me. You're killing me.
I thought it was so regressive. I did not. Okay.
That's why I love you, sir.
I love Zatanna. I've always loved Zatanna. I already talked about that costume. She was a Justice League member. She has been a leader of the Dark. She had to have been a leader at one time, probably. Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah, no, she was.
I just feel like this book was so. I don't know. This is what's wrong with DC for me right now. Marvel will take a character. We have Captain America. Steve Rogers has been around for 1,000 years. And he's always going to be Captain America, no matter what you do to him. He became the captain. He still is Captain America. He still has that truth, justice inside of him. He doesn't agree with the government. He becomes the captain. He becomes Steve-ul. Okay, we get Evil Steve. Whatever. Still Captain America. Comes Captain America. DC, on the other hand, likes to do this with their characters. And it's the problem I have with DC right now. This story was unnecessary. It was very regressive to the character. There was nothing new in this. I did not want to read it. I didn't even buy it for myself. I read one of our customers' copies because I did not care. I did not like this book. I'm sorry. I am contrarian. I know. I really did not like this book. I am not a fan of this artist at all. The style is very, like you said, it is very stylized, a little too simple for me. That's all. We can go on to the next book. I did not like this book.
Killing me, sir.
Did not enjoy this book. I didn't like how I don't do magic. Yes, you do. I'm sorry, you do. You've always done magic.
Well, but that's part of the mystery.
Screw the mystery. Her dad's dead. God damn, he's been dead for years. There's nothing new. Nothing new about this book. Not one new thing. Brought nothing to the table.
Barman, old man destroyed. I mean, maybe pick it up as a trade. Maybe pick it up as a trade. I mean, I liked it. I want to see what happens.
Here, let me tell you what happens, okay? She finds magic and she becomes a magician. I just ruined the whole story for everyone.
You're killing me.
Issue 3. I'm a magician. The end. I wrote it. Give me money.
Okay. All right. I'm moving on. I'm moving on. You got me. I surrender. Okay. So the last book we're going to review before we go to our next break is going to be Gotcha Man #1.
Battle of the Planets.
If you're American, yes, Battle of the Planets. But Gotcha Man. And I think it was really silly that it's like Science Police. Gotcha
Oh my
Man.
God. I got the Sanford Green cover.
I couldn't find it, so
Oh.
I would have got it. I just got the base cover.
Love Sanford Green. Love. Okay. Thank you. I love winning. All right, Gotcha Man, number 1 from Mad Cave. You realize this is the second Mad Cave we've reviewed. We reviewed one last week too. I'm like, what?
I'm very surprised because it's like they're coming out of, I don't want to say nowhere because I guess I think they've been around for a minute, but hey, you know, again, it's an old 80s property that I guess they bought up and, you know, they bought the rights to and making a comic book for it. More power to you.
Cullen Bunn was the writer.
Mhm.
Chris freaking Batista from Legion. I remember him from Legion. Was the artist on this. Carlos Lopez was the colorist. Buddy Bodoin was the letterer. And the cover A that is right there was by Inaki Miranda. Sanford Green did the B. Chris Batista did the C. And then 2 other... Mike Diodato did a retailer incentive. Mike freaking Diodato. Wow.
Yeah. They're calling him out. And Cullen Bunn being on this book.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I started this last one. What was your thoughts of it? Did it take you back to Saturday mornings? You want to put on your PJs and eat your Captain Crunch cereal? What was up?
I did Lucky Charms. I still eat Lucky Charms. I had that this morning.
Oh my Lord.
I actually liked it. I enjoyed this book. It was kind of one of those throwbacks. So hey, we reviewed Dick Tracy a couple weeks ago too. If you haven't watched it, you can go back. We had some thoughts.
We did.
We did. I liked it. I thought the art was so clean. It was nice to see his art style.
It really captured the old anime.
Oh my God,
animation really well. Like it was almost spot on.
Fantastic it was art. Complete with
the flared hair.
Yeah, and the faces. I don't know. This brought back some memories. I really liked it. The story, it's very basic. I mean, bad guy attacks Earth.
Yeah, normal.
The good guys are on the ropes, and the B team's needed. Like, okay,
yeah,
nothing new. But what they did bring was the voices sound different. Like they introduce a new team, and the voices aren't all one. You can tell they're different people, and that I think I enjoyed. There's a lot of people in this. There's like 12 people as a cast, and
they have to save that doctor too.
Yep. Yeah. And yeah, it all sounded I absolutely loved the villain. The villain's look was just gorgeous. I love it. I don't remember him. What's his name?
Starts with the Z. If I remember correctly. Yes, I loved it as well. I do think that we've been reviewing a lot of
properties.
Yeah, a lot of properties that are coming back. Like we didn't review Space Ghost, but that's another one. But it seems like a lot of I think Johnny Quest is coming.
Johnny Quest is coming. I cannot wait to review that.
And then there was the stuff from like the Energon universe. And I think the ones that are really work for me are the ones that add to the mythos, that add to the storyline, because in Gotcha Man it was only just those 5, and now that we're getting a new team, maybe we'll see some new science ninja teams. So maybe this will be, instead of like the Condor, we'll get the Raven or something like that, which I think is kind of cool that we're able to have these new folks pop in like they did by retelling the G.I. Joe story. And I think if you're able to just respect the property, like where it's come from, and then add to it, that really, really makes this stuff shine and turns it from just a rehash for nostalgia's sake to actual like growth. That way you're still it goes away from pandering and it becomes an actual full-fledged story on its own. And I think that's how you capture that 80s nostalgia, those books. Like I would love for you and I to like sit down and write a Mask book. You know, I would love for you and I to sit down and actually
Bionic
write
6.
Bionic 6. I would love to write Bionic 6.
I would
Seriously,
too.
seriously, because I watched those nonstop when I was a kid. I would love to go there and add more into it. And I think the more we support these properties as adults, the more we will get some in the future. Like
Right.
Space Ghost, fantastic. Gotcha Man, fantastic. All the Energon stuff, fantastic. Again,
So they announced today that in November we will be getting a G.I. Joe series. The creative team that did Duke is going to be the new writer and artist. So yeah, they announced that today.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. One other thing, I think if you're going to Comic-Con or New York City Con or any of those cons, stay tuned because it's probably going to be announcing more information about that.
Yeah.
Again, I think there is all those old properties are ripe for reinterpretation and then expansion. If in your mind, if you're a writer and in your mind you're trying to take one of these old things, those two things should be your North Star, your guiding star.
Yeah.
Is and not just prey on nostalgia. It's boring, it's tired, and while it will sell books to the number one people who like to collect number ones, like to see what's going on. But after that, it's not going to work. And I think that's one of the things with RoboForce that RoboForce thing that happened was it just didn't. Well, I think the RoboForce stuff was it just wasn't really good. So, but again, you can always think that.
Right.
So,
I am Barlord. I did not realize Williamson left Green Arrow. That makes me sad. But I don't know if there's going to be a Green Arrow book after Absolute Power anyhow. So we'll see.
I don't think so. I think they're probably going to end it, and Absolute Power is going to be a soft shakeup of the books, because you can't defeat someone like Waller and not have there be a vacuum at the end. So I think there definitely will be a shakeup at the end of that.
So go get Gotcha Man if you like it. I mean, we loved it. We both recommend it, so you could do that.
So, alrighty, folks, we're going to take our last break, and when we come back, it's Make Mine Marvel time. So stay tuned.
Twitch, it's not just what happens when you have too many energy drinks anymore. Check out our content over there, too.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds, a promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey, and behind every page there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
What do you call the place on Spider-Man's wrists where the webs come out? His website. I hate myself for writing that joke, but you'd make me feel so much better if you just visited our website. We have links to our merch, new release lists, all the show info, and so much more. TheEXPLive.com.
Hey everyone, welcome back. You are watching the Geek Chat on the Experience. I'm Rich.
I'm Dez.
So be sure to watch the Experience lineup every Thursday. It starts real early with Jam Comics. Some great guys got some good comics, some great comics for you, actually. Then you got the Dan Wickline show coming up at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. What's in the Box with Miss Jen? She is right before us. She's amazing. Today she had graded slabs for sale. You've got us. And then lastly, after us is Sketch Up with Mog and Mel. They're always having a lot of fun. They draw live and they auction off with their drawing. It's a great lineup. It's a great lineup on Thursday, and I'm not just saying that because we're in it.
Yeah, and it starts at 7:00, so you get a little breather between us, and then we can get something to eat and come back and watch them draw and talk about all kinds of crazy stuff.
That's right. So
also let you know, please, if you haven't already, fill out that hashtag. We want you to win this variant cover. The variant cover in question being the X-Men Heir of Apocalypse #2. It is a 1 in 25 variant by Lee Garbett. And it is that variant right there you see on your fantastic screens. And please note that you got to put it on. You got to put that hashtag if you're watching on either YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. And if you've already won in the last 30 days, please don't enter because you will be ineligible. And we want everyone else. We want everyone to win. At least once. Also,
yes,
it was told by the powers that be above us that the Elon Musk platform, Twitter, yeah. As of Monday, some of the shows will be on that too. So that's awesome. So please stay tuned for that. Preston S, what a great cover. Unfortunately, my friend, that is not the hashtag, but we appreciate it. Thank you.
So just to clarify, fellas, we're already live on X, Twitter, Elon Musk, whatever you call it. But starting this past Monday, you can start entering the giveaway from there.
Oh, so it's this past Monday. Oh, cool.
Yeah. So if you're watching over there right now, put the stupid hashtag in and win the prize.
That's right.
Please do. I'm updating my notes right now. That way we know what to do. So thank you.
So are you ready to talk about unnecessary, unneeded, and unwanted comic books? Because we've got some for you coming up on the experience.
I will speak to one of them and really challenge you on that one. So first one we're gonna talk about is X-Men Blood Hunt Magic #1. It is a one shot, so it's one shot. You're one and done. You're out. So who are the people that created this fine book, Trish?
So, Blood Hunt X-Men Magic #1 was written by Ashley Allen. Artist was Jesus Hervas. Yeah. The color artist was Yen Nitro. And the letter was VC's Travis Lanham. And I don't know why, but there was a whole bunch of variant covers for this hot turd.
Okay, so Preston says hashtag put stupid hashtag in. That should be the one. So how can Magic not be a buy?
Well, you have to read this.
Rich, how can it not be a buy?
So I enjoyed this a little bit better than I enjoyed that horrible Jubilee that we reviewed last week.
It's funny. I actually enjoyed the Jubilee more than I enjoyed this one.
Well, I didn't enjoy either. I just said I enjoyed this a little bit more. It was still hot trash. Hot trash for how much? This was only $3.99.
There you go.
There you go.
Standard comic price now. How could you go wrong with that? I honestly believe 100% that they use these one shots to test out new writers.
Oh God, for sure.
Yeah, they have new writers and artists. They have to, they really have to, because there is 100% no reason for this book to exist.
Nope.
100%. And by tying it to an event, some people will buy it as they feel that it will add more to it. I mean, these books right now at this point for me is just trying to add some kind of spice to the main story, to round it out, give it more flavor, to show how it's affecting other people in the world. I get that, I really do. But if you're gonna do that, at least make it. I don't know. It just this. I mean, it was just it
went nowhere.
It was just there, and I think that's the main point about a lot of these books is they're just there. It doesn't speak to the larger narrative, except that there's vampires and they're affecting everywhere because this thing takes place in Siberia and Russia, and they have this weird fairy tale aspect where Ilyana happened to meet a vampire version of a great hero, and then she immediately obliterates everybody. So she there's never a point in the book where I felt that she was ever any threat. Even when she was captured, like I knew, okay, this is why she was captured. Boo, she did it to find the place. Okay, great. And it's like all of the inner dialogue, like if you knew anything about magic, you knew, like, she's explaining her powers, and it was just, I don't know, it was very by the book, very by the numbers. And so when I was reading it, like it literally was like it was like eating a sandwich that had no flavor. And usually, and the saddest part is usually when you eat something, you're full afterwards, but I didn't even do that. It was just poof, and it was gone. And
yes, Barlord, she is going to be in McKay's X-Men. We'll be reviewing that in 2 weeks. And she's not having this costume. So she had her, what do you call it? Magic girl? What do you call them?
Oh, her magic girl moment?
So she had her magic girl moment where she has this new gold hideous armor. And no artist could ever draw it the same. So we're going back to her black outfit with the giant sword. And I
hated that look.
I do too. And no reason. And yes, Preston, they need to put her on a cover. That's why she had 4 different variant covers, I guess.
I think Magic is one of those characters that is, people like her. Like, people really like her, and they really like her look. They really like, it's that long straight hair with the blonde, and she just with the sword. She's very, I just think she's very relatable, and her backstory and everything. So I think people just really want to put her on that stuff because she's attractive, she looks good, her armor looks kick ass, and she is wielding a big sword, so she's like got that classic look to her, and for that, I think she's one of, for a lot of other things too, but she's a very powerful character. But I just think that she just hasn't been done well in a while, and I'm really hoping that McKay's X-Men will allow her to be that.
I just wish that she wasn't in her midriff.
There's
something about the costumes they keep making for her. It's funny when you look at poor Mirage. What is her name now? What does she go by? Danny
Moonstar. Yeah.
It's funny because they still stick her in the old New Mutants, blue or black and yellow. And they keep trying to make Magic have these different costumes. Like, we're going to be reviewing Air, and she's in it. And so is
Richter. Classic costume.
And Richter it's like his costumes keep changing. But for some reason, I really hope that McKay addresses why she goes from her gold back to her black.
They probably won't.
So Preston, the story that sticks out for me would be her miniseries from way back when that introduced her. Like, that really, that is when she, or the other one, the other story that I love is when her brother died in quotes. And she was so upset, and she tried to attack Forge, and then B, she also tried to use her magic to bring him back. There were stories in the 90s that were focused on her. Maybe not an entire arc, but an issue or two here or there. And the other one that it always sticks out in my head is when she died of the legacy virus.
Oh,
Do you remember that? She was reduced into... So after Inferno... Colossus rips the husk open of the Dark Child's armor, and there's little baby Ilyana, and she's a child again, and then she contracts the legacy virus and dies. Those also are over 2 decades old, but there's been nothing lately. They tried to make her a war captain and make her something bigger during Krakoa, but that went absolutely nowhere.
And she didn't really have a big part in X of Swords either, did she?
No, even though she has a sword that's formed out of her body.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we get to review. We get to review the Psylocke Blood Hunt next. I'm so excited.
Okay, moving right along. Giant Size Little Marvels #1. Okay, Rich, what you got, buddy?
The writer was Scotty Young.
I'll go first on this one.
The drawing was by Dax Gordine,
who was doing a really good Scotty Young impression.
Yes, the colors were by Jean-Francis Beaulieu. The lettering is Nate Picos of Blambot with VC's Joe Caramanga. Yes. Yes.
And it's weird because last week we reviewed Uncle Scrooge, which was an overwritten mess and not suitable for kids. This one I think was perfect. I think it was perfect for kids. I think it was silly. It was meta. It had 3 specific stories that I thought were really cute. The first one was Captain America. No, they had 4 stories, didn't they?
4 stories,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the first one was Captain America, and he's all trying to shoot his movie, and no one likes him because he's a Boy Scout, and Iceman. They're trying to do the him being caught in the snow and trying to. It was just cute, and I love that all of their hideouts or their bases, their headquarters were tree houses.
And yes, real quick, not to interrupt you, I'm sorry, but Barlord, yes, they did a little Marvels as well during Secret Wars. Yeah. Same idea, but he drew that one.
Yeah, and like the one with the last one with the villains, and they were at
Dr. Doom's house,
and he got called in to eat dinner, and he
by his mom.
Yeah, and they all the other ones had to leave, and how he was making fun of Red Skull's face, and it was just cute. Like I really enjoyed it. Like I read it and I was like, okay, like I could give this to a kid, and a kid would look at that and be like, okay, the drawings are funny, the story is definitely not. I mean, they're not. I mean, it's all G rated. The whole thing with the Project Runway with Tony Stark trying to get new armor, and then Gwen making the armor that looks just like the other armor, but you put a hood on it. You put like a hoodie on it. I mean, come on, it's like stuff like that, making fun of its own silliness.
Yeah,
is what made it fun for me. And I looked at that and I was like, okay, this is great. Again, I think the cost is pretty prohibitive, but
I wanted to say that this book is a $7 book.
It didn't need to be $7. It didn't need to be $7.
I don't.
They don't understand. Like they really don't understand because if you go into a store and or maybe they don't go to comic stores, they don't know, because when kids run into a comic book store, and I've seen this many times, and you as a retailer have seen it many times, the parents are really going to say, okay, you get one thing, go pick it out. And what do you think kids going to pick out? The biggest thing they can find that has a lot of pages in it, for its buck, more bang for its buck. And you have kids books, like graphic novels that are like $10.99, a few bucks more, and you're getting like quadruple the story. Come on, it's a no-brainer. So I just don't get it. I don't get the pricing point for some of this stuff, and I understand floppies don't make money. Floppies are like cost leaders for some of these some of these companies. I get it, I really do, but you gotta work. You gotta work with us or something, because I can't see a parent buying this for their kid unless that parent is an already devoted comic book reader, and they'll say, okay, I'm gonna get this for myself, and then my kid will read it later, or I'll read it to my kid, unless that's what they're trying to do. So I don't know. So yeah. What was your thought?
You said it all. I mean, it's just a cute book. I kind of flipped through the group pages. I really didn't care about that story, but I really liked.
That was the one. That was the one I really forgot too. It's like,
I thought the first story was the best. I loved it. Oh no, the Doctor Doom one was the best.
That was my favorite.
The Doctor Doom one was my favorite too. I really liked that one. The Groot one was just the very first page just did not catch me.
Yeah.
But yes, I have to say that in the comments, I miss Scotty Young drawing.
Yeah,
Twig was great. That immensely.
Yeah, Twig was great. You are correct. Twig was great, and I do wish Scotty Young stayed on Strange Academy and did that one. I think out of all the teen books, that was the strongest since Champions, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we're not getting. I don't know what's going on, but we're not getting a lot of really good teen superhero books from Marvel right now.
Well, so there is one that just debuted. Unfortunately, it's on their app. They're relaunching Avengers Academy, and I was reading this, and I was like, "Oh, it's got Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur and a whole bunch of other people that I don't remember." But the new Captain America, the young gay one, he's in it. But it's all on their app, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna read that way. Maybe they'll put it in. Maybe they'll put it in an issue. They did that with one. The X-Men Green they did with Nature Girl. Yeah, I don't understand their whole. You just asked for it, and guess what? You got to read it online.
Yeah. So Preston, yes, Ain't No Grave is great. You should pick it up. We reviewed it. The number one, really, really good. Yeah,
I really liked it.
And Barlord, yeah, physical for me too. Like I'll read manga sometimes on the app, the Shonen Jump app, because it's super cheap. It's like $2 and you get so much for that. It's like amazing. But I have no place to store manga books because they're really weird sized in my opinion, and you can't really put a lot on a shelf. So that's just kind of how it is for me.
Oh,
but yeah.
I have something positive to say about Zatanna.
Oh, Lord.
It's a Black Label book, but it's a regular size comic book, and I'm glad that it's a regular size comic book.
Yes.
There, I said something nice.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Last, but certainly not least, but last for this episode. But it is X-Men: Heir of Apocalypse.
Number 2, written by Steve Fox. Penciled by Netho Diaz. Inkers J.P. Mayer with Sean Parsons. The color artist was Alex Sinclair, who, let me tell you, made this book. And the lettering was VC's Clayton Cowles. And the cover artist, that is done by Doton Akandi, I believe is how we say his name. And, of course, it had a bunch of different covers, variant covers. So...
one you might win today. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, I started the last one. What was your thoughts of this one?
You know what? It just continued the story. I am loving this story. I think it's fun. The art, this artist, Netho Diaz.
It hits and misses sometimes. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes it's really good and sometimes it's a hot mess. I have no idea. It's so inconsistent. It's crazy.
That's just it. But when it's good, oh my God, their art, because I don't know what Netho is. The art is really good in some spots, but I'm still getting Brian Hitch when he draws Archangel. The last page.
Last page. We standing on the thing.
It looks like it's so Brian Hitch to me. Yeah. So, which is a compliment, Miss Person Diaz, I have to say. Okay, story wise.
Mr. Sinister's up to some bull
he
crap.
He really is, because those people aren't dead. They're not dead. We've had enough death and destruction towards the end of the whole Krakoa era. They're not going to kill these people. I'm enjoying this book. It's hitting my X button since there's no X books right now. It's a fun, engaging story. It's got characters I really like. And I'm enjoying this. But yes, Mr. Sinister, once again, is up to something kind of funny when he touches people. I loved M. Like, I'm glad that they made M and Penance the same kind of person, because I think it just adds to her character. Richter, Cypher stepping in to save someone, how useless he is, but he still tried. I don't know. I, once again, loved this book. It, like you said, the art is very hit or miss. Yeah. What'd you think?
I liked that it was Apocalypse all along, and he brought Genocide in, and lured him there in order to see how they would react, and it was part of the test. I thought that was interesting. I did also like the backstories of how Apocalypse got them to go and be a part of it, like with Monet, and really talking to her when Quicksilver had run away to do something. And I don't know about you, but I am here for the Pedro and Monet love affair. Like, I'm here for that, and I'm glad other writers are talking about that. And it's a part of like the continuity now. Like, I'm
because
excited for that.
It was in that Scarlet Witch #1.
Yep. And they've continued it in a separate book, not written by the same person. So I'm glad that they're picking up on those things and actually making it continuity, making it line wide. So I was really excited for that. I want to see what happens. I'm really intrigued about what Mr. Sinister is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so weird that how he writes what's Exodus, because Exodus, depending on who you are, you can write him like a complete douchebag, or you can write him as kind of like a normal person. And this person has definitely gone the douchebag route with him as a telekinetic. Like, I am a mega level telekinetic in my blah blah blah. And I was just like, really? Are you really? I don't think so. But yeah, I'm liking it too, and I think more so because of what you're saying, that it is scratching the itch before the new books come out.
Yeah, it's just a fun X book.
Yeah, and I think once those X books come out, hopefully, knock on wood, we will really feel this like second coming of X-Men is what I'm hoping for. And this will be done. This will be done before that hits. I think this is only 4 issues, so this should be done before. Nope. It isn't. I thought it was.
No, I mean, no. We're getting the first X book in 2 weeks.
Oh, never mind then. So this will be going on during that.
Yeah,
but I can't wait to talk about it. It's gonna.
I love what's been going on in the chat, in the comments.
Yeah, I do too.
So I love Donny Cates too. I did not realize he was in an accident.
No, I did not either.
I did not know that. King in Black was a bloated event. I have to.
It was
agree.
A what event?
It bloated. A little bloated.
I didn't read it.
Much like they're making Blood Hunt. Marvel is now all about the tie-ins, and as we're reading them, the tie-ins are just kind of not good.
Yeah.
Oh, see, sorry, Warlord. I have to disagree with you there. I actually started reading Iron Man when he was married to Emma Frost.
No, to be completely honest with you, the last Iron Man series that had Cafu and I can't remember his name, when Iron Man became a god, that whole run was fantastic. And I think when Kovac came back and he started dating Patsy Walker, all that whole series was fantastic. It's all done, and if you ever just want to sit down and read that, I highly suggest you should. That Iron Man, that was great. It was a return to like classic Tony. Yes, I think it was Cantwell. That one was a fantastic one. Cafu's art was on point. It was just a really great series run before it ended. So yeah, really good. If you want a good Iron Man, I would say that one. So, all right, everyone, we're coming towards the end of our show, and you know what that means? It's time to pick a winner. But first, before we do, can you please put up that beautiful cover for me, for us, my friend? And then, if you haven't already, please put in the hashtag EXPTGC variant into your service that you're watching us, please do that. That'd be awesome. And please note that again, this is a
1 in 25.
1 in 25 Lee Garbett variant of X-Men Heir of Apocalypse. Should be Heir to Apocalypse, Heir of Apocalypse. Anyway, and yeah, so if you haven't already, please do so. We will be drawing in Bridgeport Chronicles. You basically put in, see what Mr. Towers just did? You put in the hashtag EXPTGC variant. That's how you enter. Yes, Preston, I think, DC is really gonna steal Marvel's money here for a minute unless they start making stuff happen.
Hey, Des.
What's up?
I got a little scoop for you.
Perfect.
Seb Wells,
yes.
Guess what? Amazing Spider-Man. Joe Kelly's going to be writing it.
What?
Yeah.
When does this start?
So
not soon enough, huh?
But yeah, there's
is it a new number one? Please don't tell me it's another number one.
It just says a new era of Amazing Spider-Man from Joe Kelly begins here.
Everything, it's all 90s again. So, alrighty, my friend. Experience, could you please put up the fantastic, there you go. Alrighty, and we're gonna do it right now. Yay. Right, Preston? I'm definitely gonna buy Amazing. I mean, I already still buy it, but I'm gonna do it more. Oh, Kenneth, you won! Congratulations, Kenneth. Oh no, I guess Kenneth already won.
Ineligible.
All right, sorry, Kenneth, you already won before. Meatwad, number 1, you won. Meatwad. All right, Meatwad, congratulations. The experience will be putting into the chat the way to enter. Preston, when you see that, please put it there. It is, Preston. If you can fill that out for me, I will get yours out as well as Meatwad's. Meatwad, please do not let Master Shake see that comic. He will steal it from you, and I can't have that.
No.
One last thing, I want to let you know, Preston, again, please fill it out. We will be out next week because it is 4th of July, and we will be spending it with our loved ones. Not that we don't love you all, but we're going to be home with our families and our fur babies. As you know, it's Cracker Jack time or Cracker Jack Pop time, and our babies need our love. So we will be. Was caps letter a factor? No. We found out that the caps doesn't matter anymore. It just, you can put it in all caps, all low caps. Make it that weird writing one when one's up, one's low. It doesn't matter anymore. So we found that out. So yes, but we will be grilling those burgers and hot dogs. So thank you so much, as always, for sticking in with us. We do this because we love talking to all of you folks, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Happy 4th. Please stay safe and don't blow your fingers off.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you could ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.